now, once again, Raymond Arroyo.
Welcome to our World Over After Show. I'm pleased to be joined by the author of the 1971 mega hit novel, The Exorcist. He also wrote the screenplay and earned an Academy Award for his work. In 2011, this year, he marked the 40th anniversary of the novel that brought him international acclaim. Would you welcome Bill Blatty, author of The Exorcist?
Hey, thank
Great
you.
to see you.
Great to see you.
We got a few questions from people we didn't have a chance to get to in the show, and I had a couple of other questions. Tell me what is new in this edition of the book that wasn't in the original?
Well, there is one new character and one extended, quite a long, very interesting scene. Some changes to the ending, lots of new dialogue, but basically it's what a writer normally does after he has finished his first draft, which the original version was. He goes back and he makes it better, and he makes it better by he's got to read every line aloud, which is what I did, because good writing is rhythm.
Yeah.
It's rhythm, and the test of it is reading it aloud. I mean, it's two steps down from poetry if it's done properly.
What scares you?
My electric bill, sometimes. I do sleep with a nightlight. But actually, nothing scares me. Nothing ever did. Nothing did when I was writing the novel at all.
Were there any early influences that you see now looking at this
Yes.
40 years later?
Yes, I do remember. No one's ever asked me that before. When I was very early on in grammar school at St. Stephen's Parochial School in Manhattan, I ransacked every library on East End, and then I went all the way uptown looking for either ghost stories, stories of the supernatural, or P.G. Wodehouse type books, funny books. I mean, that did have an influence very definitely. If you read, and writing courses, forget it. Read great literature. Read a ton of it, and by osmosis. As a matter of fact, in high school, that's one of our courses. At Jesuit school, Brooklyn Prep, Joe Paterno was our quarterback of our football team. Oh, yeah, he was a year ahead of me. And we had a course called Imitation in English, and for a year, we were given a gorgeous prose passage from some great work. And let's say the topic was birds. We had to redo that following, use the same figures of speech, the same suspended sentences they were in, just change the subject to toads or baseball games or whatever. And it just begins to be part of the circulation of your bloodstream. You want to really, everybody listening who wants to really, really write well, read great literature. Don't read stuff about talking dragons and vampires, especially female detectives with names like Suki or Snooki.
Okay, we won't get to her.
No, they're fun. They're fun.
Father Merrin, I was stunned when I guess I didn't see it the first time I'd read the book. In this pass, I noticed Father Merrin's sermon, which I always thought, boy, that really crackles. That's very profound.
I should read that.
You copped that from somewhere.
Yes, it's back of the book, I say. It's John Henry Newman.
Uh-huh.
I was caught with this mega mind, intellectual, that I had built up. And I thought, well, we have to have a passage of his writing to get I want Chris to read it. And the more I thought, I was simply not capable of writing something up to the standard of this priest that I had created. And I found it in John Henry Newman's The Second Spring, always a favorite of mine, a freshman Georgetown 8 prose writers. It's gorgeous.
So you pulled a little piece of that, and there it is.
Oh, yeah, it's
I love
beauty.
it. Can you read a little excerpt from the book? This
love to.
occurs, I guess, in the middle of the book. Just past the middle.
Yeah, yes it is. Let's see. Father Karras has finally been persuaded to come by the mother to come visit her daughter.
Who is possessed.
Reagan possessed. Karras fought to sound calm, even warm and friendly. "Hello, Reagan," he said. He picked up the chair and took it over by the bed. "I'm a friend of your mother's," he said, "and she tells me you're very, very sick." Karras sat down. You think you'd like to tell me what's wrong? I'd really like to help you." Reagan's eyes gleamed fiercely, unblinking, as a yellowish saliva dribbled down from a corner of her mouth to her chin, to her lips stretched taut into a feral grin of bow-mouthed mockery. "Well, well, well," she gloated sardonically, and hairs prickled up on the back of Karras's neck at the voice, thick with menace and power. "So it's you. They sent you. Well, we've nothing to fear from you at all." "Well, yes, that's right," Karras answered. I'm your friend, Reagan. As I said, I'd like to help you." "You might loosen these straps, then," Reagan croaked. She had tugged up her wrists so that now Karras noticed they were bound with a double set of leather restraining straps. "Are the straps uncomfortable for you?" "Extremely. They're a nuisance, an infernal nuisance." The eyes glinted slyly with secret amusement. Karras saw the scratch marks on Reagan's face, the cuts on her lips where apparently she'd bitten them. I'm afraid you might hurt yourself, Reagan," he told her. "I'm not Reagan," she rumbled, still with that taut and hideous grin that Karras now guessed was a permanent expression. How incongruous the braces on her teeth looked, he thought. "Oh, I see," he said, nodding. Well, maybe we should introduce ourselves, okay? I'm Damien Karras. Who are you?" "I'm the devil." "Oh, good," said Karras. "Now we can talk."
He's not quite buying it early on.
No.
Not quite buying it.
All. He's not buying it through. He goes to such extremes to see if there are natural explanations for paranormal events. Is in direct proportion to the intensity of his desire to believe. He wants it foolproof. Foolproof.
I have a final question here from one of our viewers. They say, "Mr. Blatty, how may a Catholic author or artist strive for the call of Jesus to be holy, as your Heavenly Father is holy, while at the same time producing art that is truly intriguing and draws the secular world through their art into the depths of the truths contained in the faith?" Thank you, John.
It's a very profound question. I have no idea how to answer it. How do I keep holy and keep writing this?
Right, and he's wanting to know, how does an artist do that? How do you balance, make something intriguing for the world while keeping your soul?
Well, how do you do it? I mean, it's a gift. I mean, let's face it. It is finally a gift. And as when, make an analogy from my comic novel writing. I'd write all through the night. I never wrote one funny line that was in my novels. Do you know that? I would sit there and I would, a thought, a line. It's as if someone beyond me had, this line occurred to me. And if I doubled up with laughter, I'd quick type it, get it down before you forget it. There's something in the air, you know, maybe, I don't know. That's of another world, really. I mean, the unconscious mind is like a gigantic leviathan, you know, in the depths of the ocean compared to what we see on the top in the human brain. Oh, my God. It knows 100 times
And it's
more.
connected to the divine.
It's connected to the divine.
Initial creator.
Absolutely. They're never apart. Never apart.
Fantastic.
Did you ever read that? I should have brought it with me. Speaking of John Henry Newman, he wrote, there's a wonderful passage I send to people who are in mourning over the loss of a loved one, in which he speaks. I mean, it begins with, you know, the dead never leave us. They're here. They just went through a door to the other side, patiently waiting for us to come home to where they are. I'll send it to you.
No, I'd love
It's
to read
quite
it.
lovely. Yeah.
Bill Blatty, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
The book is the 40th anniversary edition of The Exorcist. It's available at bookstores
No, it
and
isn't. You're not gonna
well, it's
find
available
it.
at some books. You can order it from bookstores, and you can get it always from Amazon and Barnes & Noble online and download it. I guess everybody's buying it via Kindle and Nook today, so go get it. Thank you for being with us. On behalf of the staff and crew of EWTN News, I'm Raymond Arroyo. We'll see you next time. Bye now.